Alexa, turn it up to 7.
All the promise when I make, it's gonna be like said I think. Where the money, where the food, everybody want it food. Since you come, the tears are pain. We're not tired to complain. I see the part where you be good. Nothing Nigeria into do. 97% and 5%. You know we talk like president. You rule Nigeria with sentiment. Take your office to revenge. Oh yeah, now I'm the Buhari. We dey beg you. Nigeria no go shaka for your head. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do. We still dey wait to see the change. All the promise when them make, it's gonna be like say them fake you. Where the money, where the food? Nigeria people want it food.
Share the video, invite your friends.
Since you know that there's a man, we don't tired to complain. You know we're planning for the youth. And security no improve. Inflation no they hit the roof. Still government no they say the truth. I am a brother, this change I am. We come to this summer, pray God for Nigeria. I am my sister, this coming I am. We come to this summer, pray God for Nigeria. After the election, we can do. We still wait to see the change. Cause all the promise when they make, now you don't be like said I fake you. I wear the money, wear the food. Nigerian people want it food. But since you don't let yours
Alexa, turn it down to 0. Thank you. So it seems that Alexa, I have missed Alexa, and it's good to be back in the cooking room, the kitchen, where it seems to be much freer to dramatize whatever I'm trying to tell you. So this is the cooking room. Some will ask, why do you love your kitchen? Why won't I love my kitchen? There's been so much truth cooked from this small room that has liberated so many minds across the world, changing their old belief about the lies they were told about Nigeria. It's an iconic room. It's very iconic. This room, for those who values it. So thank you very much, and you are welcome to Mayegun's Diary again today. And if you read the caption of the broadcast, you can make your own contributions accordingly in the comment section as expected. So I'll read out the caption of the broadcast for tonight. You will then, again, make your contribution, your own, your own view known in that comment. I'll read some. I'll put them up today. I'll be reading few. But today today is International Youth Day. Good enough. You have been reading a lot about it everywhere. Nigerian youth. I have this data, right? Mind you, share the video. Do not be so stingy with it. We know Facebook is doing loads and loads of damages on Mayegun's Diary. 60% of you will never get notification. Facebook made that happen. Some of you have been kicked out by Facebook. They have done a lot. But even if Facebook did that, on your own part, at least click share and share it to wherever you think it should go to. Do that. That means you'll be doing your own part and at the same time helping us to shame Facebook, because we know it's a matter of time. They will likely tell us to pack up and they will just shut the page down anytime soon. But before they do, You have the opportunity of watching me right now. Click that share button. You can't have 400, 500 people, 1,000 people watching, and you are seeing just 200, 300 people sharing. That is selfish. Do that. It costs you nothing if you can. Thank you. Today, the caption is so long for the, I'm going to read that out to you so that we can get along when we start picking them up. International Youth Day. Nigerian youth, what are your priority for Nigeria? I know say now born, they go burn them down last. But what will be your own priority out of that old burning, out of that old division? Are you part of those who are trying to fix it because your fathers, your forefathers did same, and you think it beckons on you to do same, to defend a system put together to destroy you? You may not have an idea of what this is all about, but I will continue to break it down and break them down for you until probably you will begin to be able to process all this information. The system is not put together to help you. You see, when you have a country, you have the people. Without the people, there is no country. Do you get that now? Now, which means there must be a priority. There must be a national, sort of something called the national unity in purpose. Something that makes all of us connected. You see, if not because of this, we're not supposed to be together. We couldn't find that. Your leaders couldn't do that or define Nigeria. Who is a Nigerian? Do you get that now? As a young person, your leaders, the criminals in charge of Nigeria, for once, they are finding it difficult to define what is Nigeria, who is a Nigerian. What they have managed to do is to say, as long as you are born in Nigeria, as long as you claim to be Yoruba, to be Igbo, to be Hausa, to be Fulani, whatever you want to call yourself, as long as you are born in Nigeria, you can claim to be Nigerian, but it comes with no entitlement. That is where they missed it. And that is the missing link between the leading and the led, because there was never any foundation that says you are connected for this purpose. And therefore, as long as we continue frontally to face these challenges together as a people, then yes, we are a country. So there was never a country. It was a contraption, hurriedly put together for the immediate gain of the criminals who did it. But they never knew their fake contraption would last this long. Now it's lasted their lifetime. Some of them have died, and it became real to them too. Nigeria from 1966 became real to the criminals who put it together since then, because the people were deceived enough to believe they could build a country out of a complete strangers coming together to say, yes, we can claim to be country. Why not? Let us be country. Let us keep it up with the country. Let us continue to call it a country. Then you ask yourself, why is it not working? Today, I am 36. I'll be 37 years old by January 2021. If I have the grace. Now, 2021, I'll be 37. I will no longer be able to answer youth anymore. If I want to be sincere and honest with myself, I will no longer be able to say I'm a youth anymore. Now, there are so many like myself who are currently trapped, because the system is made to be so, trapped in their own parents' houses right now. They are in their 30s. Some are in their early 40s. Some of them are in their late 20s. No priority. Just waiting for something to happen, probably to change their story. But yet, they have no idea that it was the fake country put together that was never meant to work for you, work for anybody, that is indeed hindering you or limiting you, or better putting on the roadblock, the stumbling block that keeps you perpetually where you are right now. You are struggling. Even your leaders, they have to struggle, kill people to be able to have access to your national resources, the money. And once they have access to it, they shut the door and they begin to kill you, who begin to ask them questions. And here is where priority comes in. You shouldn't be fighting for freedom of speech. You shouldn't be fighting today for freedom of association. You shouldn't be fighting today yourselves, right? Trying to dislodge corruption. If those who put together the fake country had it in mind not to pillage the land, not to loot the land, not to kill the people on the land in order to inherit the resources of the land. If they had not, if their intention primarily was not that, today, you and I will not be asking for any freedom for people who are now being kidnapped, killed. You know what I mean? We won't. It's because there was never a foundation. It was complete rules, a complete lie. Your fathers believed them. So was the father, was his own father too. Yes, they have done it for 60 solid years. That is incredible. A fake contraption put together with a fake document, attached together, ragtag of it, right? And they are dragging it on, telling you that one day it will be great. When would it be great? When you turn 60, right? Unfortunately, some of us cannot wait till that time. That is why we'll continue, right, to mount the pressure until those who put the fake contraption, the last of them is Boko Haram. Boko Haram was one of the thugs that dislodged the regional system of government and sustained the feudal system of government they are now forcing on the rest of the country right now. Boko Haram, as a young terrorist from Daura, who was sent to the army, not because he was qualified, not because he was intelligent, he was sent to the army so that he could get the license to kill whenever they were going to need them. And it was actually indeed useful. They call it the revenge coup in 1966. The revenge coup was to divide Nigeria in 1966 until the owners of Nigeria decided otherwise and decided to just continue to loot and pillage the land they just conquered. And that is why they look at the whole country. They don't see Nigeria as a country. They see Nigeria as their own estate, whereby whoever is coming to take power is coming to take their estate. Then that's why you see them. They fight to death. And when they get the power, you will expect them to then reciprocate and change the society they nearly killed themselves for. No, they won't. They will continue the pillaging because Nigeria is a rent-taking system. They take rent from you. They don't give anything back. And you as a young person, at what age? They are throwing back end power at you. Take this. After spending 20 years in the, in school, for those who are unfortunate, who have to struggle through the ASU, NASU, ASUP, PASU, and the rest of those ASU and all of them, who have all one way or the other, one time or another, impacted into the degeneration. Whatever limitation you are facing today, over time, they contributed to it because they were made to do that to you. And that is why we are saying, as a young person, what is your priority? When they talk about the same country that means no jack shit to you, the same country that means you, that doesn't really wish you well. You see, you must have a country before you can say, I want to defend my country. I love my country. Because other people are saying they love their country. You too, Nigerian, you want to prove to them that I love my country. I love Nigeria. It's just the politicians that are the problem. You are part of the problem because you are among those lying to themselves that our problem is not much. People are not asking for much. They just want good leadership. Where will you get their good leadership from? From among you, young people. They use to rig elections, to manipulate and falsify results. Many of you are currently recruited to be their own arms party when they come to kill, to rig, to do all of this in order to take power. Who are those working for them? Nigerians. Who are those buying guns for those to kill you? Nigerians. Who are those ruling you? Nigerians. And do they love the same country they claim to do by buying guns for criminals who they recruited from the poverty-stricken part of the whole country to attack and kill and spill blood of innocents in that same country? So who are those doing it? Iraqis? Even though Boko Haram said his brother from Gabon, from Mali, from Libya, from Chad, from Niger, from Cameroon, and all those Fulani transit countries, that they should come down to Nigeria. Now, there are those killing you, probably not, because we know those who are killing people and the purpose why they are doing it. You are a young person, right? Politicians have fritters away the future they promised and still forcefully demanding for patriotism. They freed terrorists and jailed activists. Even Boko Haram himself came out that he is shocked. He is shocked that Boko Haram how they are getting weapons. The president of your country. How many of you still remember that Nigerian borders are shut? How many of you? But you know personally that the borders are not shut for the terrorists to walk in and walk out. The air travel is not short for the terrorists to move their weapons across the country by air, while you and I are here checking out who is better and who is not better in APC, International Youth Day. Go out there and see what the young people around the world are celebrating. What would you be celebrating? And when will you even celebrate something genuine? And not all these fake things they planted on your path. And they have done it so well. They use their churches, they use their mosques, they use every gathering, they use different associations, they use NGOs handling vulnerable groups. They use every manner of group of people they can find to continue to manipulate you as a young person at the age of 36, 35. What has been your priority so far? I want to know for that same place. They killed education to buy same for their children abroad. You know it. They killed healthcare to buy the same thing for themselves abroad. You know about that. It is deliberate. There is no point. See, let me tell you when you cross the point of no return. The moment you believed, even some of you who didn't vote for Boko Haram, some of you, many of you believe in that change in 2015. Okay, many of you, even though some of you are today hiding behind. Now elected. If you ask this one, who elected Buhari? They say, thank God I didn't even vote for Buhari. You see this one, bros, you voted for APC. Thank God, though, I don't even vote for APC. Then we no see the people who voted for the terrorists. That was the moment. That was the moment Nigeria crossed the point where we call the point of no return. Politicians will continue to lie. It's their trade. They will continue to tell you that there is no problem, nothing to worry about. But guess what? There is a big problem, and it's going to consume them. You as a young person, should you be consumed by their own treasuries too? Should you be consumed by the consequences of their own actions or inactions over time? Should you be consumed? That's the question you should ask yourself, because you will either be consumed either way, right? It is either when people are going to stand up, you will belong to the group that are ready to be paid to go and counter them. You know, in Nigeria today, right? There are three reigning jobs in Nigeria. Number one, whether you are a graduate or not graduate, it no matter. You go ride Okada. When the thing enter you wella, you go learn how to ride Okada. If you enter you wella. And there are so many of you in that category. Number two, the second job is to become a protester for government. You see, they say soldiers kill people. Oh, soldiers no get payment, they no pay them. Oh, policemen kill people. People want to protest. Terrorists kill people. People want to protest. You see dead bodies. You see people kidnapped and all of that. People want to protest against the government. But you are willing. There are people, there are young people in Abuja, in Lagos, in Ibadan, everywhere, right? That are ready to collect 500 naira. 500 naira is even less than a pound now. 500 naira is more or less like 80 pence, less than a pound. They are ready to collect that money. Or maybe 1,000 naira, which is going to be by maybe £1.50, or maybe £1.70. Less than £2 is what they are ready to collect. And they will group themselves. They will group themselves and they will march and say they support what they are against all of you who are trying to protest against the government. Why are you protesting? The government is doing the right thing. Simply because they paid them 1,000 naira. Now let's leave those who are being paid 1,000 naira. Those Alimajiris on the street, these Oshogbo Alimajiris, or the Lagos Abobakus, or when you go to the Zamfara and the rest of the places, yeah, you see these Boko Haram apologists, Boko Haram sympathizers. They are there. They are ready. Let's even leave those ones. What about those who are actually doing it as a business? Do you know that there are people, Southerners in Abuja, Southerners in Abuja, their business is to mobilize for protest for government. If you protest against the army, they will protest a counter-protest and say the army is doing fine. You are sponsored by PDP. When they see the Benue people crying, protesting, they protested against them. They said they were only pretending. Nobody is killed in Benue. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They are young people in Abuja. So when you want to point fingers, make sure you know who you are pointing it at. And when we say the young people here, you know the truth too. But we have the people who are doing it as businesses. They recruit people and say, come and protest. Come, we'll give you 1,000 naira. Okay, let's go to the Amnesty International and tell them to shut up and leave us alone. They should leave Nigeria alone. Nigeria is an independent country. There's this young boy has no job, is so notorious and popular. It was the boy that mobilized those who went to beat up at the Jadenyoju in Abuja for asking them to free El Zakzaky. The court freed El Zakzaky since 2016. Bukwari and his DSS kept him. Blatantly, they refused to honor the court order. El Zakzaky being in detention, the Nigerian soldiers have killed over 2,000 followers of El Zakzaky in Nigeria. Many of them were buried in shallow graves and the rest of that. But guess what? There were still those who are ready to collect 1,000 naira and attack anybody that stand and come out to say that. That is not just the soldiers. That is not just the police. What about those ones? Even though we know that the police protects them. But that is the fucked up country you are in. And because they haven't really got a hold of you, doesn't mean that you are actually free. They are coming. And that is why I have to continue to hammer this into your head. You see, some of you, young people, your priority right now in Nigeria should just be one. And that priority is how to stay alive. And there is only one key to staying alive if you are still very much trapped in Nigeria. If you are living in Nigeria right now, I have families there. I wish I could pray like many of you. I wish I could speak in tongue and hear voices that will tell me that they are safe. They will be fine. Like many of you are that gifted. I don't. I feel for them all the time. I wish there is another country. And I've been telling them now. Many of them actually listen to this too. I tell them, listen, you have just one mission now as a young person in Nigeria, and that one mission and mission one only is what? Is to stay alive. And to stay alive, there is one key to it, to staying alive. And it is what? You should begin to campaign. You should begin to enlighten. You should begin to read, research more on how to break up Nigeria now as a young person. Look at what is going on in Ondo State. Even though we might say it is politically motivated, let's leave it at that. We have been hearing about the killings and the killings and the killings and the killings in the north and in the middle belt, right? Especially the northeast and the middle belt. We have been hearing the killings and the massacring and all of that of the people of Southern Kaduna. By this time, in 2 years' time, right? If nothing changes with the way we are talking about it, right? We will still be here talking about the killings in Southern Kaduna. But the most shocking thing is that it won't be Southern Kaduna alone anymore. So you have one mission, just one now, as a young person in Nigeria, to stay alive and work towards the breakup of Nigeria. You see, the moment you are trying to keep it together, using political correctness, using all those other threats they are giving to you, you are just delaying it. Eventually, it is going to boom. By then, you will find yourself fighting to stay alive, fighting and defending yourself to just stay alive. It hasn't gotten to that yet, but it is going to get to that. That is why it's better you begin to use your energy now. we have northern and northeast governors. Amotekun is being set up in Yoruba land to prevent the further attack and the killings of our people in the villages, in the rural areas in Yoruba land. The same incidents and happenings that the Nigeria or Nigeria government will continue to deny or underplay. Do you get that now? They underplay it. Our people are being killed, kidnapped in the remotest part of our land, in Yoruba land. So until they come to the city, I believe that is when you will begin to learn how to shoot a gun. Now it will no longer be a laughing matter. When you will leave a downfall, you will leave a downfall that is on the street, you will jump down from it and you think you will be able to run faster than the downfall when you will no longer see what is pursuing you. Ask those who are living in Maiduguri. They will tell you that they never thought it would get to their capital. Today, they live with it. They are now living like people in a Game of Thrones. People living in this, where did Stark come from again? Remind me. In the Game of Thrones, they are now trapped behind the wall. They are trapped. They built a wall around themselves now. They have more than 3 or 4 army barracks or whatever stationed around them. Yet, they continue to kill them and kill them. You will see them running on the expressway. They are running. Can you run faster than a car? They jump out of car and they started running. When you get to Yoruba land, you will learn how to be modest and smart in your choices. Politics is what you know, Abi. Politics. You want to campaign for 2023. There will be no 2023. Maybe I should put it that way for you. There will be no 2023. There will be no, there will be no campaign for 2023. It's going to be war that you'll be dealing with by then. Even when they say they are coming to campaign, even locals will bring out guns and start shooting them. That is where the whole thing is going. Some of you don't have the idea until they begin to pursue you. Funny enough, I was talking to someone, I said, you know one thing? When they begin to kill people on the street of a Yoruba land, the criminal Yoruba leaders and the media in Yoruba land, they will try everything to manipulate it and make it look like it's armed robbery. But guess what? There will be time you will know the difference between armed robbery and terrorist attack that is scaled and planned. In Yoruba land, we have Amotekun now. Whether for political correctness, whether for political exigencies, whatever it is, there are people who now know that they need to protect Yoruba land. And they, one way or the other, the resources they will use to do that, when the pressure, when the heat is turned on, will come from the Yorubas. You see that closed border in Yoruba land, we will open the border. Because you will get to a point whereby people will need to protect the land. And that is why we appreciate that. Whether for political studies, for rigging election, it doesn't matter. It is the law, a law setting it up. Southwestern Security Network, Western Nigeria Security Network. It is law in Yoruba land, but we know those that will not implement the law. But we'll continue to encourage them to do so because it is going to be needed soon. You have no idea. And I really wish, our brother, Grandiot, can begin to develop his chemical weapon now because it will be needed too. You know why? They will come. There will be rain of blood. But would you stand up or begin to shout your leaders who are also going to be their targets too? They will kill your political leaders. Most of those you see now, they will be attacked. They will be picked up one by one. And they will make it look like armed robbery. They will make them look like accidents. That's why they will first start sending the fear to all of you. The people you never believed they could kill, they will kill them in Yoruba land. Then they will send the fear to you. They will wait for your reaction. When they realize that you react, then they will come for you. You have no idea. And this may sound like a telltale. Ask the people of Southern Kaduna. Ask the people of Benue. It all started like a joke. Mind you, the politicians are those buying the guns for them. And that is why, as a young person, what do you want to make your priority to be? To defend the fake politicians there. Yoruba is raising Amotekun now. We are training people, right? With one purpose. Safeguard Yoruba land as much as you can. But there is one thing that is still missing. Amotekun cannot prosecute anybody they arrest. Amotekun cannot prosecute whoever they arrest. In fact, they cannot jail whoever they arrest. Part of the agreement they made with Nigeria is that Amotekun, when Amotekun arrests criminals, they have to hand them over to the police. And you know what will happen? But one step at a time, one step at a time. Look at where they are killing people. They are governors. They are busy, what? Either paying terrorists, pardoning terrorists, negotiating with a terrorist in the north. To this day, apart from their Sharia, their fake oppressive Sharia law. And listen to me very clearly, okay? You see, in Yoruba land, there is something they call Aiteyinka Onlan Fowobu, right? If your lips cannot cover your big teeth, that is when you begin to use your hand to cover it, okay? Aiteyinka Onlan Fowobu, Oju afo foton, ijalolo man dasile. A man that is half blind and you think he's blind and you think you can do anything because you believe he's blind will always cause a problem, because when you are partially blind, it's not fully blind. But in this case, I will say it the way it is. You are mad. And I'm here to tell you that you want to tell me that Allah approve a Sharia to punish anybody that say anything about your prophet. Fine, let's agree. Then the punishment is that anyone who said that must be killed. Okay, good. If I say anything, that must be great. Fine. But that same your Sharia said, if anyone steal money, they should cut off his 2 hands. They say if you steal money in Sharia, they will cut off your hand. Then if you steal again, they will cut off your hand. Again, the second hand. You know you can't steal again. But if they accuse you of stealing again, they will cut it to here. That is what the Sharia say. Medieval punishment. Are you with me? But you know, it sounds good to an idiot that they told that they just told that oh, if anybody say this, we'll cut off his head. You say yes, cut off his head. Anybody that until his own head is about to be cut off, then he will begin to realize that you're going to cut off my head because of what I said. Yes, we are going to cut it off. We have been cutting off heads since. And you have been supporting it. That's how foolish some of you are. They say, but don't say anything that they will make them cut off your head. Because I say something, then you will cut off my head. You are mad. But that same religion, that same Sharia, says they should cut off hands if anybody will steal. They say anybody will misrepresented Allah, that person has committed blasphemy. In that regard, if you catch that person, you must kill that person. Okay, fine. We have seen Alhaji Shekau. We have seen ISWAP, Islamic State of West Africa. Some of you don't know the meaning of ISWAP. You think now Islamic word. No. It is abbreviation for the terrorists who have established themselves in Nigeria. They call themselves Islamic State of West Africa. So there are those coming in now. You know what I mean? Because Nigeria is now the very fertile ground for them. They are so free. These guys are killing people in the name of Allah. They will recite Quran. They will cut off your head shouting Allahu Akbar. Allah. A moderate Muslim, as they would love to call themselves, will tell you, you see, my brother, you see this guy that is about to cut off your head, saying that he's a Muslim. You know what? He's not a Muslim. He doesn't represent me. But that's what he does. He cuts people's heads. But he's not a Muslim. He doesn't speak for me. I'm not the one. See, even though he's saying Allahu Akbar, even though he's reciting the Quran and all of that, but let me tell you, he's not representing me. He's not speaking for me. As he's turning around and you say, look at this Muslim terrorist. Why would you call him a Muslim terrorist? Haven't I told you that reciting a Quran is not being a Muslim? Instead of them to declare a jihad on the terrorists who have declared jihad on the people in the name of Allah, they tell us those people are not representing Muslim. Agreed. But when you begin to probe them, they get offended. They say it's because you have Islamophobia. It's because you hate Muslim. My friend, check yourself. We are not saying this or that. You should watch what you say. Meanwhile, when they are even telling you that, they will be threatening you too. On that spot. My friend, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth what you say. If not, we'll kill you. Like, what the hell? What makes you different from Shekau, Alhaji Shekau? You want to kill me because you think I've offended Allah. You want to cut off my head because I've offended Allah. I have blasphemed. But the same Sharia that will cut off my head for blaspheming is not cutting off Shekau's head. It is releasing the terrorists who have killed people. Are you normal? You can't be. It's impossible for you to be normal, to think like that. Gandola, Seriki Gandola, the Babariga banking CEO of Kano, was caught on tape. I don't hear anything from Sharia judges, so all those mad people. So because someone can read Arabic, you can read Arabic, you are now above other men. You can now tell us what your Allah said we should do. Cut them off. In Saudi Arabia, and that's what they do. Let me tell you something. In Saudi Arabia, for blasphemy, they will cut off your head and they will damn the world. They've done it. They still do it in 2020. This 2020. They cut off someone's head for blasphemy. They said, hang him. The same way the terrorists kill people who does same thing. They accuse them of blasphemy, adultery. But Gandola, Gandola, the Babariga mobile banking CEO of Kano, was seen on video collecting bribe. He is an Alhaji. He is a Sharia man. He is from Kano. They say when you go to Kano, you need to respect the Muslim. Let us respect ourselves. Let us respect people's religion. You are just a mad person who is under the influence of other mad people who have succeeded in manipulating you. That's exactly what you are. A mad person. Then boom, the video surfaced. The daughter of a Kano state governor. Oh boy, come see us, come see roller, come see everything, come see the music that they listen to, see the drink these criminals, their children are actually drinking. In the pub, they call it ladies' night before the wedding, the following day. The one that later married Ajirebi of Oyo, the constituted Oli of Oyo, the one that died like a piece of shit then. Gandola's daughter. She drinks, she smoke, right? She fuck. But she is what? She is a daughter of Alhaji. Alhaji that is overseeing both Sharia and Nigerian law. A thief. You idiot. Didn't get mad, did you? Does that represent Islam? Maybe not. None of them represent anything because you guys are criminals. And you choose how you deal with issues, even if you are being killed. Yeah, that's what terrorists does. Someone said, Mayegun, you want to cause a tribal war in Nigeria? You are just as dumb as the breeding lifeless mannequin in Aso Rock. You are as foolish as him. I want to cause tribal war. For telling you about the one that is already killing you. And you cannot use your energy, your Sharia, your jihad, your fatwa, your this to stop the people killing your people. Because probably they are not killing your people. You are killing other people. Humanity is dead to you. And they can hide it as much as they want to. But we won't stop talking about that. As a young person, from any part of the contraption, Nigeria, ask yourselves, what is your priority? Waiting to be killed. Abi? You're waiting to be killed. And if you are lucky, they will kill you before you suffer more. It is just a very good thing. You know, when you die, you don't have to worry about NEPA bill. You don't have to worry about Boko Haram. You don't have to worry about anybody anymore. All you have to do is just rot away. But before you rot away, as a young person, maybe you are just clocking your own 30th birthday. I'm 36. I swear to God, I wish I had another opportunity and I'm able to never, ever, ever be part of Nigeria. Maybe be part of a republic that actually represents me. A country that actually really, really acknowledges my existence. The one that knows me as a citizen, not as a subject. But trust me, 28 years of my life was wasted in that contraption. So are many's lives too, but they don't know because they have been told that their destiny was given to them by God, and that God will still determine their destiny. How can someone say poverty is your destiny at the age of 30, age of 40? You are struggling like now you kill the Messiah then. You see them? When they say, what do you want to do? You won't be a criminal or you won't be a citizen. The answer that should come to you should be that I would love to be a citizen that is building a society, not the ones that is milking a society to ruin and destroy that same society. You are a young person. Look at them. That's what I say. Look at them all the time. Compare them and stop giving excuses for them. Stop. Maybe if you stop, then you can stop them. Channel your energy. It is important you do that, even if not for yourself, for the sake of your own children, if you are going to have any. And if you already have some, remember them. I do ask, I say, listen, ask yourself that if anything happened to you now, would your children survive in the next 10 years of Nigeria? If something happens to you, would your family survive next 10 years of Nigeria? Because can you see the 10 years of Nigeria? Can you see what it is going to look like? Now imagine it without you, despite the fact that you are doing your best now to maintain and stay normal. Because many of us know normal again. People are walking about. They don't go shoko on the street. You would think some people are receiving phone calls with the earpiece. They are not receiving any call. They are speaking to their mind. You think they are receiving calls on the street. They are not. Nigeria has frustrated so many of them that, trust me, if you listen to them, you will shock. Nigeria kills you slowly. It takes away everything from you slowly until everything is milked, until you are dry and dead for it. So why should you continue to challenge your energy in saving such place than channel your energy into something more worthwhile? And what is more worthwhile as a young person is to see the future you want to live in. And the primary thing is you stay alive. Let your intention be to stay alive. To stay alive means you have to distance yourself from these criminals and whatever they represent. Whatever you have shared with them, you have to begin to withdraw them back now. The emotional attachments you have given to them, all these connections, all these pseudo fake hopeless connections that you think you have with them because you think they are connected to you one way or the other, you need to begin to detach that and begin to channel your energy towards telling people that, listen, the best way for us is to begin to prepare our people to leave this place. We have to leave the place. Politicians won't tell you that. Politicians will tell you, no, it's impossible. Those who are benefiting from those criminal politicians will tell you it is impossible. And truly, there are those that wage the first war to stop you, not outsiders. The criminals who speak the same language as you, who seems to look like you, and probably have been around for a very long time, that you have known their faces repeatedly. They are those that will tell you it's impossible. Let us just restructure. Let us just try and fix it. Let us pray and fix our country. Those are the deluded criminals who are enabling the active criminals that they call leaders. You will deal with them. But you must be ready. Channel your energy in your schools, in your place of work, everywhere you go, on the bus, everywhere you go. Start discussing the breaking away of Nigeria now. It is the only alternative you have. When they tell you they will fix it, that is what they have been saying. They have been saying since 1960. If the intention was to keep you and make you at least make your life better, but no, they couldn't do that for 60 years. Do not wait for anybody to tell you that it can be done again. It cannot be done. And that is so hard for so many people to accept. They love to, that living in denial that, okay, how are we going to do it? We will do it when you begin to stop asking that how. Because you will begin to know how when you get involved. Because you are not part of it. Because you are not interested. Because you are not ready. That is why you can stand and ask, how are we going to break it up? When you are ready, you will begin to know how to break it up. Yes. Because you will no longer ask how anymore. You will be asking when are we going to break it up. So we are still very much on how now. By the time we bridge that and we get to when, then we can begin to time it and give it a time. But for now, many of you are not ready. And that is why people like us will not stop showing up on your screens, on your timeline, on your social media handles. People like me will not stop showing up. And we are many until you stop asking how. And you begin to ask for when we are ready. When are we going to do it? Let's do it. And I know many people are already asking when. This was not the case a year ago. So give us a little time more. More people will begin to ask for when. And trust me, it's going to happen quicker than many of us will even envisage or has ever envisaged. You cannot continue like that. You cannot continue to pretend that you need to pray. You need to succumb more. They will not stop. They will continue to take and take and take and take until they take your life. And if you don't want that to happen, you will begin to detach yourself from 2023 nonsense now. It is very, very important. There is something more vital than 2023. It is your life. You may not have that life again by 2023 if you continue to wait and hope. 1 year, look at the damages. This year alone, on record, over 6,000 human beings have been killed by terrorists in Nigeria alone. Those are the 6,000 that could still be alive if they were awake enough. At least it took them 5 years to get to the 5,000 they have killed. 6,000 they have killed this year alone. It took them 5 years to get to them. Do you know how long they are going to take to get to you? You don't know? It's going to happen. So that is why you should channel your energy. Forget about 2023. Forget about it. You see, politicians, that's what they do. It is their trade. That is what they feed on. That is what they use to feed their families. That is where they use to get all this title, this fake title from traditional rulers. So when you talk about 2023, you are actually talking about them renewing their means of survival, politics. There will be no 2023 if there is going to be anyone at all. You watch out, save this video. If they can hold it to 2023, then I will know that indeed in Nigeria, something don't happen. If they can hold it, as it is going jaku now, if they can hold it to 2023, hey, I will completely agree. You have no idea. But they will hold it. It's just not going to hold together. And that's the worst. That's the worst. The worst thing that will happen. Forget 2023. It is a ruse. Those who couldn't build good roads in Yoruba land, those who couldn't build good hospitals in Yoruba land, those who couldn't create employment opportunity for the Yorubas, they lead in Yoruba land. Those who couldn't protect the Yorubas, the Yoruba people, they lead in Yoruba land. Those who couldn't provide electricity for the Yoruba people that they live in Yoruba land, they cannot fix Nigeria or fix Yoruba land when they give them Nigeria. Stop being stupid. It's not going to work. It won't. And stop being foolish as well by repeating and regurgitating whatever they are telling you. It is all fallacy. For 21 years, go to Yoruba land and tell me those who wanted to go and fix Nigeria, go to Yoruba land. Even the Lagos state that they love to use as an example, God help their soul. God help their soul. Amen. The mega slum. You know, Lagos is a pure mega slum. But they don't like hearing that because it's the truth. What do you call a city? A mega city without a running pipe-borne water. in the homes. A mega city with the worst drainage system in the world, whereby you and the dirty things in your drainages are actually like living like brothers and sisters. You are so comfortable with that it has become normal in your own mega slum. Trillions of naira sunk to pay and pay and pay for poverty for all of you. You cannot boast of anything. The public transport system that should have been a model, at least a model for the Yoruba people. Look at what you are doing with that. The mega slum called mega city. Look at them. Those are the people that want to fix Nigeria. They say, look at you, show me your house. Maybe I can see what you will do with my house. But you see all those abobakus, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the baba sokweis, the all risers, those pickpockets and all those political jobbers that continue to shout and shout and shout on their behalf. Look at them. Look at their lives. In Lagos, in their mega slum. Mega slum. And those are the people that want to fix Nigeria. How dumb can you people be? How dumb and how long can you be dumber than the word dumb or dumb by itself? You are looking at criminals who have destroyed their own people, and you idiots are jumping up and down like program de mumus, the collateral mumus that you are. 2023. Don't be enemy of progress. Don't be enemy of progress. We are going 2023. Don't delay. And I'm just here to remind you. I know you know that but I'm just here to just remind you because you need someone to keep reminding you. They can't set you up. They can't fix you. Look at the young people on the streets, thugs, cultists, because the system has rendered them useless to themselves. They are only useful to the politicians who want to always renew their feeding bottle village. So where do you want to be? What's your priority? What is your priority? To defend PDP, to defend APC, and possibly get killed by their terrorists. If you are lucky and they don't kill you with their guns, it's a very lucky one. Then they will kill you with their economy because sometimes, you die slowly. That's what happened to many of you. But we'll keep to remind you, it is my own call to continue to remind you that if you are a young person in Nigeria right now, you have one mission only. And that mission is to stay alive. And to stay alive, my brother, you must begin to join those who are working tirelessly, educating, enlightening, right? Those who are doing everything they can do to save you. You must begin to join them now to help them break up that place. It is your only ticket. That's the only ticket. They can tell you someone is going to come and they are going to use you for statistic. You know, in Nigeria, when Boko Haram, when they come to a village, when they come to a village and they kill, let's say they kill 30 or 40 or 50 people, when their media will report it, they will not say Abubakar Seidu killed 21 from a Bogono village. Sadia Sefanu killed from Moguno village. Baraka, whatever, I don't know all those names. Don't let me make up rubbish anyway. But you have an idea what I mean. They won't do that. They will say House of Rep member Honorable Suleiman Ajagolo and 300 others were killed. You are just statistics to them. They won't mention your name when they kill you. Even when their police kill you, you are lucky enough that we have social media now. We can share your picture. Justice for Ikerekuru, justice for Gugunu, justice for free Showore, free Jamil, free this, free that. You will never write free Mayegun. Forget that. I know they come Nigeria. I don't get business there. You will begin to write that. If you don't stand up if you don't stand up now, they will use you as statistics. If anything happened to me now, they will still say, you know that popular blogger? At least they will tell you. Even though all of you go know before, but they will still say, you know that popular Glasgow-based, UK-based blogger? I don't get small name be that too. So if anything happen, they find me for Borono. And they say they don't kill my ego, oh boy. They don't kidnap my ego. Jesus, God damn it. What did that guy go do for Borono? My ego. They cut his head off. If you see him, the guy, they just say blink, like say, make something happen, make them save him, but they don't cut him off. But they will still say, oh, they cut off the UK-based popular blogger and 3 others. Because if they arrest all of us for inside my car, they kidnap us, cut my head. The bloggers and all of them will say the UK-based blogger. At least I go trend for a few days, and that's it. I know they come. Now inside dream, that go happen. Only inside dream. They don't value you. They don't rate you. They call you subjects. They call you ordinary. But you keep standing up, finding excuses why you should stand up for the criminals. You shouldn't. I am here to tell you, you shouldn't. And you should stop before they use you for statistics. You are a young person. Before you know it, you know, go there young again. No? When I checked, I said, oh boy, 4 kids. 4 kids. Before I know it now, my Kofo will be 18. Bolawon, Mori, Caleb Akinola. They will grow up and they will begin to call me like proper daddy. Myself go to sit down and I say, oh boy, hey, I don't go fear answer youth anymore. Many of you watch it, how they destroyed your youth. They took away everything from you. And now you are adults in your 50s. You are now contesting a National Youth Council chairman with 23-year-old in your local government because you've lost your youth. They've wasted your destiny. Here you are. You don't even realize it. You are still defending the criminals who did this to you. When are you going to stop, bros? At the age of 50, you are still finding excuses to defend Tinubu, finding excuses to defend every thief that comes your way. At the age of 55, sir, you never do. At least you have been following Mayegun's diary. Can't you at least get some healing? At the other age, you're advising young people to cut Tinubu leader. At your age. Wasted generation. I'm not here to massage your ego, sir. I am here to, if possible, to ruin that ego for you. Because you are one of the reasons why this is still happening. You can find the excuses, you can find grammar, everything you can find in the book to defend thieves. And in the process, defend Nigeria. They will catch you, use you for statistics. It's a matter of time. I told my friend today, I said, if you go to the north, if you travel any of their road, they capture you. We will use you for news. We'll just cry in silence. I will use you as an example of those who are stupid enough to still believe in Nigeria, right? Until they will use you for that sacrifice. Trust me, they are there. People are being killed every day. Every day. It's everyday mental sum. They say everyday mental sum new. Everyday mental sum. So what the hell are you talking about? Break it up. Save lives. They said you shouldn't try something new. The one you have been trying is killing you. Many of you are now so broke. I've been told statistically that many of you are even like on Facebook still ranting, defending the terrorists in Nigeria. Even those of you are trying to call yourself defensists, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the humbled slaves, all of you. I hear that many of you have lost your jobs. Some of you are Empower idiots that they recruited for 30,000 naira. You ran mad on social media. You turn yourself to sellers for terrorists. Today, they've Oshimomi, Shadia won't pay you. Now, all of you don't get sense. You are now writing like you get sense now. Once they call you and pay you your stipend, you run mad again and begin to speak in grammar again. But guess what? We'll go day here. I go to use you for the examples as I've always done. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you later again today when I see you. Until then, keep watching. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to Mayegun's Diary Political on YouTube, go and do that now. Facebook is not reliable. It's a complete mess. But until then, I'll see you again. Good morning.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Prẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.